Hey YouTube, Timothy Unkert here. I figured we should go through a C 101 before we get to a C++ 101. So I'm going to go through some basics of C over the next couple of videos. Okay, so I've created a file here. It's called print2console.c. And let's open that. Let's open. And what I'm going to do is I'm using CLine, which is a paid IDE by JetBrains. You can do this on any text editor though. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to open up the terminal and compile and run it from the terminal each time so you get used to that. So no big deal there. Okay. I'm going to close the project window so we can have the full screen. And the first thing I want to do is include a header file. So I'm going to start to type it and it gives me a suggestion. So I'm going to include this header file called stdio.h. That's the standard input output library that we want to include. Okay, now I'm going to create a main function. So I'm going to type int main. That basically means this function will return an integer. So we can just put at the bottom return 0. Okay, and for this first file that we're going to create, I'm just going to print to the screen. So what we can do is we can do a printf, and then a parentheses. We have to end our statement with a semicolon each time. And then we can put double quotes in here and print out our string. Okay, so I can say, hi, my name is Timothy Unkert. And if I just run this now, let's actually do that. So I'm going to open up the terminal here. And to run this, I'm going to do, actually, let me put this up here. To run this, I'm going to type GCC, which is the compiler I'm using on my Chromebook. It's a free compiler that you can use on Linux. On Windows, you can use MinGW. But anyway, so I'm going to type GCC and then the name of the file. So this was 001, which is my naming convention for a lot of these classes. It's not necessarily the way I would do it in a professional setting, but for these classes, that's the way I name it. So, okay, anyway, so I'm going to compile this, and then it creates an executable. Now I could do -o and then name the executable, but the executable it creates by default is a.out. So to run that, we just do a /a.out. Okay, and you'll see when I run it, you see, hi, my name is Timothy Unkert, period. And then, basically it doesn't bring this down to a new line. Okay, so that's might be an issue. Okay, so we can fix that. So I'm going to close this with Control D. And the one thing I would do to fix that is I can put a new line character here with a slash and an N, like so. And now if I go Control T and do GCC and start to type 001 and then just hit a tab to autocomplete that, I'll compile it again. I have to compile it again. And then I run it again. You'll see, hi, my name is Timothy Unkert. It's formatted nicely, so it brings this down to the next new line, and it looks nice, okay? So that was the first part that I wanted to cover, simple printing to the console. So we're gonna make another file now, and I'm gonna create a new C or C++ source file. If you're creating this in a typical text editor, just make sure you have the .c extension here at the end. I'm going to do 002 and call this variables. And we'll talk about variables and escape characters in this. So again, if you're using just a simple text editor, just do a .c at the end. Okay. And so let's just close this out. One here. And you'll see that my IDE creates a little comment here that this was created by T. Unkert. So actually, let's talk about that. So we can do a comment with 2 slashes. Now, a lot of text editors, you do Control// and you get a comment. So this is a single line comment. Okay, and then if you want to do a multi-line comment, you can do it like this. So this is a multi-line comment. So when I compile this code, these commented lines are not going to appear, okay? So it's just for me to document the code. So when I come back to it or another developer comes back to it, they know what's going on, okay? Now, what I'm going to do here is just get rid of that because I didn't really need those comments. I was just demonstrating comments. Okay, so let's now include, and I'm going to include, and we do this in between these. It's like a lesser than and a greater than symbol, and then it's stdio.h. That's the one I want. A lot of files you'll see, including stdlib.h, standard library. But anyways, so don't need it for this one. So I'm going to type int main, okay, and then we'll end it with return 0. Okay, let's create two variables. So one, I'm going to create a variable for my age. So int age equals 46. And then I'm going to create a string, which kind of like we basically make a bunch of characters together. I'll explain more about this in later lessons, but you don't really say string. So you do char or char for character, and then name, and then I'm going to put this open and closing square brackets here. And I'm going to say equals, and then in double quotes, I'm going to do Timothy Unkert here, end everything with a semicolon. Now, if I hover over this, my IDE here, let's hover over it, see if it'll do it. Okay, so it says local variable is only assigned but never accessed. But if you look down, you'll see car and then 15. Okay, so you can specify the numbers. Now, let's actually count that. So it said, let me see if I can get it to show up again. So 15. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If you think you know why it's saying it's 15, comment in the comments below. We won't cover that in this lesson, but we will in future lessons. Okay, anyways, so, all right. So now let's make a comment here that I'm going to print my name and age to the screen. All right. So I'm going to do a printf. That's to print to the screen, open and closing parentheses, end the line with semicolon here. And then I'm going to have two double quotes. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to say my name is, and I'm going to do a %s. Now this is called a format specifier. So this is kind of like %s. You can think of string, even though it's a bunch of characters. We'll get to that in a bit. All right, so %s, and I am %d years old. Now I'm going to do a /n for that new line character, so it formats it nicely. Now after this, I'm going to put a comma, and I'm going to put two variables, the name variable we created and the age variable we created, okay? All right, let's do Control T. And let's do GCC. This is 002. So I just start to type 002 and then hit the tab and it completes it. Now, again, that's going to, by default, overwrite that file a.out. So do a.out here. So we see my name is Timothy Unkert and I'm 46 years old. So notice it nicely works in the integer into this string. Some languages, like some languages, you might have to specify that we have to convert it, do a type conversion to a string, but C knows that, okay, you want to include this in this string, okay? All right, now I also want to talk, even though this is named variables, I want to talk about escape characters, okay? So escape characters. All right, so we can use escape characters to format strings that we print to the screen. So let's do a printf, and I'm going to do a /t, and then I'm going to type, this is tabbed over, okay? And then I'm going to create another line, so another printf here. And notice how I hit tab and auto-completed that. So that's an option that you have on a lot of text editors and IDEs. It's a nice little thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say this is one line, and we already know this one, and we'll do a /n. This is the next line. And notice I'm not even putting any spaces in there. I'll do another /n and end this with the semicolon. Now if I do Control T, and I'm just hitting the up arrow to get my previous commands that I ran in the terminal. So you can do up arrow or down arrow to move between them. Okay, so I'm going to hit that, recompile it, and then rerun it. and you'll see, the second line, this is tabbed over. And this is actually on the same line because we didn't put an escape character here. I meant to do that, by the way. Whoa. No, I didn't mean to do that, but I forgot to put the /n. Lots of times I forget that. All right, but then this one gets moved down. Even though the way we're writing the program, this is on one line of code, they don't end up on the same line down here because of the format specifiers. Cool. All right, so let's close this out. We'll show you not the format specifiers, the escape characters. Okay, let's do another printf, and let's include some double quotes in a string. So this string includes, let's do a / escape character, and then we can put a double quote, and that double quote's going to show up. Double quotes, another / and a double quote, okay? And let's do a /n and end this line with a semicolon, okay? Let's open up the terminal. So I have a short keyboard shortcut. I've defined it as Control-T. That's how I'm opening it so fast. Okay, and then we're going to go up arrow here, GCC 002 underscore variables.c, run it, a.out. Okay, so this string includes double quotes. Okay, now if I'm going too fast, you can always slow down the video on YouTube or rewatch. Or if I'm going too slow, you can always speed me up as well. All right, so we'll close that out. And okay, one more I want to do is just an escape character to show up a /. So we'll say this is do 2 slashes here, /. Okay, and that's how we're going to get one of those to show up. We use the escape character, and then the actual / shows up. Okay, so if I run this, okay, and we go, this is a / that shows up, and I forgot the /n, so it's not formatted nicely. Okay, all right, so let's now create a new file, and let's call this 003, and we'll call it number data types. Okay, and we're going to explore these a little bit. I'm going to click OK, close out this. And that's, again, a keyboard shortcut I'm using to close that project window quickly, if you're wondering. All right, so what I'm going to do is include 2 header files here. So I'm going to include stdio.h, okay? And I'm also going to include limits.h. Okay, this is going to help me by including limits.h. I'm going to be able to print the max and min values of various different data types. Now, why is this important? Well, you might be coding along on Hacker Earth trying to solve a problem, and you're getting it wrong, and you're like, why am I getting it wrong? And then you look at your output and the solution, and you see a negative number where there should be no negative number. It means you got overflow. Okay, not that happened to me this afternoon. Okay, anyway, so let's start with integer. So we'll create an integer. Let's create max and min integers. Okay, so we'll do int, and we'll call it max int. Notice I'm naming these variables with camel case, which the first word is lowercase, the second word is uppercase. Okay, no spaces, so camel case, all right? And then we're going to start to type int, and you see I get this auto suggestion because I included this limits.h, so I can do int max. And I'm going to duplicate this line real quick and do minint. And let's get rid of, I just want to do those 3 lines there, int min here. Okay, so now this will give me, because I included this limits.h, it will give me the max and the min. Now notice here on the coloring here. So the coloring is indicating I'm using this one for these variables, but I haven't used this one yet. So let's try a printf. So let's do printf. Oh, the color changed. Look at that. So now I'm using this. So I need to have this one to use this. All right. Whoa. All right. So let's say the maximum value of an integer in C is percentage. Now this is a format specifier, percentage D, period, /n. Nice formatting. You know, the escape character is /n. The format specifier is the percentage D. The period is just for punctuation. Okay, and then we want this this variable that we want to pass into this output. So we're going to do max int. All right, I'm going to do Control Shift D, duplicate it because I have Sublime keyboard settings here, and I'm going to say minimum value of the integer, and then we'll do min int here. Okay. All right, let's do Control T. And now let's do GCC. This is the third file, so 003. Hit a tab, and okay, now let's run it, a.out. All right, so we see the maximum value of an integer in C is, let's see. So we got thousands, millions, so 2,147 million. Now you might have noticed this is similar to Java as well, but C is the mother of all languages, as they say. So, you know, it's interesting that you do these different languages, but you'll see these numbers showing up independent of the language. Okay, so, and this one is negative 2,147, negative 2,147 million, and so forth. Okay, so that's max and min int, but we can go larger. So let's go larger with a long. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to say long. This is a data type, and we'll do max long equals, and we'll start to type long, and we get long max here. Duplicate it, and we'll do min long and oops, long min here, and just take this and we'll copy it and bring it down here, and let's print out the long max and min values. All right, so let's copy that in, and we want to change this. These we want long, and then we want to change these. It's the format specifier is %LD. Okay. Yeah, and we got to get rid of these too because we want max long, and that's why it's saying, hey, format specifies type long, but the argument has type int. Argument is what I'm passing in. Okay. So that's good. It kind of is teaching you stuff. This IDE is showing me, hey, that's the wrong type of variable. Don't do it. Okay, so now let's compile and run. And we see that the maximum value of long as a C is this way bigger number. So we got like thousands, millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, quintillion. It's pretty large, okay? But we even have a long, and there's going to be something interesting about this. I'm using C99, by the way. So, all right, so let's try to go larger with a long. All right, so we'll do long max long equals, and this is LL long underscore. Whoops, I got too cocky there. Underscore long max. Okay, duplicate it. Do min long, and then this we just need min here. Okay. Now let's print out the long max and min values. All right, so let's bring these up. And we want to do long and So now we want to do max long long and min long long. Okay. All right, let's go back down here and redo this. And notice these values look any different to you? No. So, if you're on Hacker Earth and you're trying to avoid overflow and you're using C and not C++, like the mainstream competitive coders, if you're using C99, I don't know this will give you an advantage. I'm not a master competitive coder. I'm actually kind of a noob, but I'm trying it out. Anyways, all right. So that's long. Let's do shorts, okay? So, and again, these data types are important to maximize the efficiency of your program. If you have to hold a really large number, then you probably want to use a long data type. But if you don't, then you don't want to take up as much space. You could use a short or an integer or even a char. Okay, so short data types. So let's do short, and we'll do max short equals, and let's do start to type, and we got this shrt underscore max. I want that. And we also want short, let's do min short equals shrt min, okay? And now let's print out the short data types. All right, so let's do printf. The maximum value of a short in C is, we'll do percent, what is it? HD? I believe it's HD. And we'll do max short. Okay. Oops. Semicolon. All right, let's duplicate this and do the minimum value of a short in C is do min short here. Okay. All right, let's now go down here, compile, do Control L just to make it nice. We'll do a.out. And notice, I want to make this nice so you can see it. I always forget this. All right. All right. Clear this out. Okay, so we get the maximum value of a short in C is 32,767, and the minimum value is negative 32,768. So that's a smaller range. But we can go smaller. All right, let's do the char data types. So we're going to do char min char equals, char min. I guess I'm mixing it up. I usually do the max at first, but all right, max char equals char max. All right, and let's print out the max and min of the char data types. All right, so we'll do a printf. The maximum value of a char in C is, now I'm going to do percentage C here, and something weird is going to show up. We'll do a /n, and we'll do min char. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate this and say this is going to be minimum. Maximum here. We'll do maximum here. Max. All right, so let's run this. Well, that's weird. We got this weird question mark and then like a square with like a diagonal on it. All right, so what I can actually do is let's change these to %d, okay, for the format specifier. That's integer. All right, and now we see we got negative 128 and 127. Okay, I want to show you something else interesting about chars. All right, so we can say something like char my grade equals, and in single quotes, A, and put a semicolon at the end. And then let's do char my other grade equals, in single quotes, lowercase a, and a semicolon. All right, so now what we could do is print out the grades. Okay, so we can do a printf and say my grade in C is a, do %C, period /n. I did get in the top 5 on LinkedIn in the LinkedIn assessment on C, in case any employers are watching. Top 5%. So that's an A. So we're going to say my grade here, and then we'll do printf my other grade in C is A, %C /n here, and we'll do my other grade. Okay, and all right, so now what we're going to do is, well, let's just print these out. Okay. So my grade in C is an A. My other grade in C is an. Let's just run that. My other grade in C is an lowercase a. Okay. Now there's something interesting. We can figure out the ASCII values of these characters. So let's figure out the ASCII values of these characters. It's important to know this in case you're programming something on keyboard input. So we can do a printf and say the ASCII value of my grade is, we'll do a %d this time, period /n, my grade. Okay. Let's duplicate this and we'll say my other grade is, and then my other grade. Okay, and now if we go here and compile and then run it, we see the ASCII value of my grade, the uppercase A is 65, and the ASCII value of my other grade is 97. So it's a higher ASCII value for lowercase letters. This is important if you're using some kind of sort based on the ASCII values. So you may think about it. Why are the uppercase values first, and then these lowercase values are second, even though I have something like, uppercase Z will come before lowercase a. Okay, that's why. And I think that's it for this video. I'm going to post this stuff to GitHub. I'll put a link to that in the description. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel grow. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.